the 1500 Classic is not actually dead.
Ah, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So, but now, in all fairness, it was projected to be killed at the end of this year.
It was supposed to be.
Turns out they're going to keep making it into 25. Welcome back to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian.
I'm Craig.
And we are chilling out in a Polaris Ranger this morning because it has a heater.
Well, we're not chilling out. We're trying to stay warm. That's the whole, yeah. But yes. But Brian, we've got a hot topic.
Yeah, we do.
That we've got to get into because the internet is ablaze right now with speculation.
Well, in our channel in particular, we've had 2 Hurricane versus Hemi videos, and I've been inundated with comments this last couple of days. That's why we're making this video. Don't you guys know the Hemi is confirmed to come back in 26 and the Ram? We're going to get into that. We're going to dig into that because there's some variables in there. So what is driving this, Craig, from the people? Can I start real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I've got my laptop here. I'm going to get into this. There's an article that came out. This is quoting the CEO of Dodge, and this is not Ram. So I want to clarify. Dodge announces production of 2025 6.2-liter Hellcat Hemi and 5.7-liter RT Durango models. The Durango is keeping the Hemi. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So it is confirmed the Hemi is not dead.
Okay.
And the internet's been saying it is dead.
Okay.
In all fairness. And there's a lot of nuance here, and I want to get into
There is a lot of nuance.
And we're going to answer this really firmly at the end of this episode of what's going on. But nonetheless, for Dodge, the Hemi is still in production, not in the Charger or Challenger because, well, the new Charger's EV.
Right.
It is also confirmed at the moment the Charger will not be getting a Hemi.
Correct. That is correct.
You will get the 6-pack, which is the inline 6 turbo.
Right.
And that's really all there is for that. That's the only confirmed thing we have for Dodge.
But they have confirmed that, look, people don't really want the EV. So they're going to rush production of the ICE, the 6-pack.
Verified.
So that's good for everybody, I think.
This video is brought to you by Lasfit liners, and we want to talk about why that's so important and why we think it's a good deal. Here's a new F-150 STX, which is great, but look, this is the mat you get. Like, it doesn't really cover anything. It's really flimsy. It doesn't stay in place real well. But come to the back, it gets even worse. We got the seats up so you can see everything, and this is great. You get a lot of room here, but you don't get any protection back here for spills, and this doesn't go very far back here. Okay, so there you go. There's the liners. We got them in the back here. We don't have them all laid out. Okay, just kind of want to show you the difference here. This is the original mat on top of the Lasfit liner. So let's throw the Lasfit liner in. You can see it just fits right in here. And again, it goes all the way in and it just fits just right. Look at this, that was that simple. Right around the actual base of the seat looks really good. Goes all the way up against the side. And look how far it goes up. So you put your feet in here, you got muddy feet. Get you a brand new truck, you don't want to get it all dirty. And this actually holds spills really well because there's no seams that will actually leak through. Looks really good on the passenger side. Let's check out the back. I want you to see how short these are and how little coverage there is. There's just not a whole lot there. OEM liners, see ya. Look at that, it goes all the way to the back. And look how far it goes underneath the seat. Prior with the OEM ones, it just barely went right here. Okay, it's not laying completely flat in the middle just yet, but that's because we just opened it out of the box and it hasn't had time to just lay down. I really like how it comes down and protects the actual liner up against the door sill. That is really good. This is actually a really good setup and good quality. Again, back to the front, see how good those look. Covers all the way around. Looks really good. We're actually giving away this set of 24 and up F-150 Lasfit floor liners. If you're interested in winning that, all you have to do is be a subscriber of our YouTube channel and head on over to our Instagram page, Texas Truck Channel, and leave a comment and make sure you tag Lasfit liners. If you do that, you'll get entered to win and you can win this exact set. Back to the show.
And let's kind of talk about what's happened here. So the Hemi died with the introduction of the SST.
Right.
And so, but a lot of things going on with Stellantis and Ram.
And CEOs.
We had the CEO of Stellantis resign.
Right.
A week later, we had the Ram CEO unretire. Like, well, I'm back now.
Yeah.
Don't know how that's related or connected. There's lots of speculation there, but
which Tim's a good dude. We've interviewed him before on Ram trucks before. I didn't even know he was the CEO when I interviewed him. Good dude, really passionate about what
and who we're talking about is Tim Kuniskis.
Yes.
Is back.
Yes.
He's the quote unquote father of the Hemi V8.
Yes. He used to be with Dodge before he was with Ram. He made that thing happen.
And so I think that's one of the things that's also fueling the speculation. Well, does that mean the Hemi's coming back?
Okay.
In conjunction with everything else going on. So that's kind of what's underlying behind a lot of these things happening. So
yeah. So we can get into that. And so really the reality is there's one more vehicle that is going to also confirm have the Hemi next year, which is interesting because we reviewed this vehicle last year and our rep would tell us, well, it's the final edition for now.
Right.
That's the answer we got. And God bless her, she danced around that question a lot. And I was like, interesting. Well, come to find out, the Hemi 392 Wrangler will still be in production next year and is projected for 26 as well. The Hemi is not dead. That's the headline here. It's not dead.
Brian, I've got another bonus for you, too.
Oh, we'll hear it.
The Ram will still have a Hemi V8 next year.
Okay, thank you. This is I'm throwing the laptop down. I'm glad you got there. This is in the debate because everyone's like, "Oh, it's confirmed. It's confirmed." Tell us about it.
The Ram 2500 will continue to keep the 6.4.
Oh, there's another line you forgot about too.
Oh,
because you're right about the 6.4.
Okay.
Man, we're all over on this one. I love we shoot on the fly. We don't try to like script things.
You're getting it live.
You get it live.
Yeah, but
we're learning.
Then I bring that up because you can still get a Ram Hemi V8. You just have to get a 3/4 ton.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. The 6.4 lives on for now.
You can also get a 5.7 in another spot.
Oh, tell me.
And this is the last Hemi I'm aware of.
Okay.
In 25. The 1500 Classic is not actually dead.
You're right.
I know.
You're right.
So, now, in all fairness, it was projected to be killed at the end of this year.
It was supposed to be.
Turns out they're going to keep making it into 25.
Yeah, don't understand that move, but you're right. It still exists.
Well, hold on. Let's park it real quick. I don't know how we haven't talked about this on the show before. How many times in our past have we had like something new has come out? We like the old one better. It's not very common, but sometimes it happens. And we go, man, I wish I could buy a brand new 8-year-old vehicle.
Turns out you still can.
You can. Stellantis has you covered. If you still want the 5.7 Hemi in that generation truck, which I actually like that generation truck.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
It's a great truck.
It's a lot of things sorted there.
They got you.
Yeah.
You're covered. Mm-hmm. Now, so those are all the Hemis that are out there, Craig, and that's kind of exciting. But here's the big thing I want to clear up, and I'm tired of responding to the comments on our Hemi versus Hurricane video. Not the Classic, but the Ram 1500 is not getting the Hemi back as of right now. That's the biggest thing, as of right now. It doesn't mean that it won't change, but for right now, it is Pentastar 3.6.
Yep.
Kind of the small block for Mopar these days. Mm. Or the SST motors, whether it's standard output or high output.
Correct. There
is not a 5.7 or a 6.4 going into a 1500 25 Ram. Now, the Classic, the old truck that they still make for utility stuff or the Warlocks or whatever.
Which maybe it's only one more year. Who knows?
Whatever. Nonetheless, the new Rams are not getting the Hemi, and that's the comment I'm trying to clear up because I'm tired of answering that question.
Because they're just not. At least for model year 2025 and the foreseeable future as far as all the reports we've read. Now,
right.
That said, the reason I bring up the Tim Kuniskis thing earlier.
Yes.
Who knows what will happen? Because here's what happened to Stellantis. They forgot their customers.
Yes.
And their customers, more so than even, I think, Ford and GM customers, well, at least Ford customers, have to have a V8. If anyone understands it more than anyone else, it's Tim Kuniskis.
Absolutely. No, full credit. The guy gets it.
And so, look, this is going on YouTube and the internet. Let's speculate for fun, okay?
Okay, let's play it out.
Here's my speculation, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this happen in maybe model year 2026, 2027. Okay. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe they give a V8 option, they bring it back as an option. And maybe you don't even sell that many. Maybe only sell 10,000 a year, but at least then Ram can tell their customers it's available.
Right.
Even though they'll sell, by and large, the SST straight 6 more than anything else.
Okay. While we're speculating, let's just park there. So pretend that's the case. We have an example to base the speculation off of. Ford has been doing EcoBoost motors by volume for a decade now. The majority of trucks sold are 2.7 EcoBoost or a 3.5 EcoBoost. Mm-hmm. But the 5-liter Coyote, which is a legend for Ford, is always an option on every trim. You can still do it. But by and large, I would say at least 75% of their sales, I'm just guessing off of what we see on the lots, are an EcoBoost of some sort, not a 5.0. So Ford is able to dance that line of CAFE requirements by making the 2.7 their breadwinner for that.
Right.
But for those guys who are like, no, I still want 8 cylinders of chugging, they got them covered. I hope that's what Tim does here, because the development's done on the SST. We actually like that motor a lot. Mm-hmm. It performs very well. It just doesn't get your heartstrings like a Hemi.
Right.
And if there's any brand on the market in the last couple decades that means more to than anyone else, it's Ram and Dodge.
I think it affects the Ram buyer more than anyone else.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what they built an ad campaign around the Hemi V8. And look, here's the other thing. Here's the reason.
That thing got a Hemi?
Hey, that thing got a Hemi? Yeah. Sweet.
I don't think this is a crazy speculation. Here's where I think I could see it happening. Mm-hmm. Let's get to the reason we even got away from the Hemi. EPA emissions.
That's where
it's all about emissions and particulate matter going into the air. And so turbos seem to do a little bit better job with that.
Well, let me explain that real quick. So turbocharged motors will burn post-ignition catalyst, so carbon nuts. So basically, it'll burn through the cylinder. It pushes the exhaust out of the vehicle. There's still some unburnt fuel in there, and turbos burn that up in the process of generating pressure. That's why they're so popular. Superchargers won't give you that result for emissions, right? Turbos do.
So here's where I could see this working for the Hemi V8, though, because let's go back to what that is. That's a push rod, port-injected V8.
Yeah.
The reason port-injected is important, I bring this up because direct injection have higher emissions out of the tailpipe. Port injection is a little bit cleaner, burns a little bit cleaner with particulate matter. And there's this thing that Ford's getting a little bit of heat right now on the internet right now.
Yeah.
Gas particulate filters are being added to gas motors. It's coming. We're at the beginning stages of it.
Yeah.
I could see Ram going back and look, port injected is already a little bit cleaner than direct injection.
Yep.
So we're winning there.
Right.
If we throw a GPF on this thing's now just as clean particulate matter wise as the SSTs. Our customers get a V8 back.
Yep.
I think that's a good compromise.
Okay, let's pose this question. Let's explain as well. The gas particulate filter already is on the market for the new Ford Maverick.
Correct.
And it's been in Europe for a few years.
Yep.
This is not new technology.
Nope.
It's just new to the stateside.
Right.
I'm going to ask you, if you're Captain Beat Your Chest, American Eagle, or a Bald Eagle, and I want a V8, would you rather have a V8 with a gas particulate filter, which is kind of in the line of like a DEF filter for a diesel, but less problematic?
Mm-hmm.
Or in like that's the winning formula, or go, no, I don't want that gas filter at all, particulate filter. Just give me the SST. Like it's one of those two in this scenario. Which one is it for you? Let us know. I'm curious.
Which one would you pick?
Oh, the V8 for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Undoubtable. Yeah.
I do not want a GPF, and I love the SST, especially the HO.
I do.
Great motor.
HO rips.
People need to just buy those and be happy with them.
Oh, let's be very clear. The HO SST is way faster than a 6.4 Hemi. Not a little bit, a lot of it. It is a murder machine.
Right.
But for trucks, I get you want the V8 sound.
But if I'm picking that, I'm picking the Hemi all day long.
Okay.
So, and even with all the complexity that the GPF brings, I'd still rather have that than the complexity that the turbo brings.
I'm with you. All right. One more thing I want to cover, then we'll wrap this thing up. How did we get here, Craig? What killed the Hemi? How do we get to this problem to begin with? You know where it came from. Tim birthed it. Mm-hmm. And then he got so upset at its departure, he retired. The guy's in his early 50s. He retired. That's how upset he was. Okay? That's how good of a dude this is. He's very passionate. I got to give credit to the Stellantis clan, all of them. Most passionate employees.
Absolutely.
And we've met them all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
They're incredible, all of them. So anyways, get that out of the way. How it died. Carlos Tavares, the now formerly CEO of Stellantis,
correct,
not in America, just the conglomerate overseas, he looked at the requirements for the United States, and he looked at what the federal regulations are for CAFE emissions and said, oh, well, the Hemi clearly has to die. And let's not invest in let's try and make it better. We want you to take our 2-liter Fiat, which is a very common motor in Europe, and then truckify it, make it the SST inline 6. That's how that happened. But here's the reason why we think the V8 could even come back, because forget the Tim aspect, forget Carlos killing it, who's no longer, he retired.
He's gone.
He was like, I'm out because, well, no one's buying Mopar stuff. And the reason why it's stateside is because they want Hemis. You're building cars for people that are passionate about Hemis, and you just took it away. So you're making a car for no one. The Charger EV is that. Nobody wants it, right?
The biggest mistake Carlos made is he quit listening to what the customers want.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. So, but the reason why he felt that way, let's give him a bone here. The U.S. political system has said we have these requirements for emissions. Mm-hmm. And they're actually more strict than Europe in some ways, in that they care about what's actually coming out of the pipe, not at what droplets going in the machine. That's why diesels don't work here, right?
This is where GPFs are weird. You're going to get less fuel economy with them too. So it's kind of...
Right. Yeah, so America prioritizes the actual cleanliness of the exhaust, and Europe prioritizes how little fuel can go in the machine and get the most power out.
Generally speaking, by
kind of roughly there.
Yeah.
So the reason why we think that Hemi might come back, forget who's in charge. In the last decade, there's been a credit system with the CAFE standards, and Stellantis has been buying all their credits from Tesla.
Yes.
And just flat out. Every Model 3 you see on the road makes a Hemi possible. I hate to say that, that's the reality, and it has been for a decade.
Yep.
Well, now that system is dead.
Yep.
The credits are done. That was a kind of Band-Aid to get some people there. And in that time when Stellantis probably needed to develop a more clean setup, they just kept making Hemis and Hellcats.
Right.
They kept partying. Dude.
Versus other companies and manufacturers out of the big three, General Motors,
right,
Ford. So
right.
General Motors, they didn't abandon their small block. They're investing in a brand new plant. They're going to keep the small block going despite all these things we're talking about.
Well, but they also had the 5.3 was pretty efficient. So it wasn't in the same trouble the 5.7 from
Fair.
Stellantis was in. So they did a better job making it clean.
Right, but they're continuing. They're investing in it. They're not giving up on the small block. Whereas Ram's like, well, there's no future investment there. They just kind of abandoned it.
Right.
Ford, same deal we've already talked about. They never abandoned the Coyote.
No, and they've said until it's illegal to make them, we're going to keep making them and selling them. And so part of the thing too is that Stellantis, being a slightly smaller version of the big three, didn't have a Blazer EV or a Mach-E or another, because they go off the brand average. Mm-hmm. So it's not a particular model. It's, well, if you have like 500 EVs on sale and one gas, you're fine. Yeah. That maths.
Right.
So the deal I'm looking at is, I'm not trying to get political, but the incoming president has been campaigning on slightly neutering or abolishing the EPA, which is driving a lot of this stuff. I'm not saying I'm for abolishing air quality and stuff like that, but the reality is that's what's driving some of this conversation. So it probably means that Stellantis has a chance to bring that Hemi around and hang on to it for a little while. So that's just a harsh reality we're dealing with here.
It's there's a lot going on, lots of turmoil.
Not trying to get political. I hate to get even into this territory. That's not what this is.
And it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out.
Yeah.
What will the new incoming administration change? How will companies react to that?
Right.
How much will California influence some of this with their regulations? And plus, you get the whole China push of EVs. They're murdering all the other manufacturers right now on that. So are manufacturers going to react to that, or they're just going to stick to their guns and give the American people what they want? The car industry is fun because it's a global industry and it's hard to figure out, especially if you just single it to one market. Who knows?
Decides everything. That's basically it, though. So just to clarify, the Hemi is not coming back to the new Ram. It does exist in the Ram Classic, the Wrangler 392, and the Durangos.
And the Ram 2500.
And the Ram 2500 and the 6.4. So, push rod lovers, you're good. You're covered. Everyone else, it still exists. Don't panic. But we're playing the air. That's it.
I'll leave you with this. Buy your V8 before you can the GPF comes around and enjoy it and hold on to it and don't let them take it from your cold
dead hands. Hey, I don't
hold on to them.
I'm personally stacking mid-2000s V8s right now. And it's just because I like them so much. I'm afraid I'll never get them again. So anyways, that's that. Thanks for watching. If you think we missed something on this,
they'll let us know.
Let us know. We'll be glad to respond back later and check this stuff out. We appreciate you watching as always. See you next time.
See ya.